What's up, Lorehounds? It's Koopa here for Instant Gratification, our Tuesday night show. We are kicking it off a little late tonight. We'll still be going for about the 2 hours as usual. Just, you know, general life things coming up. That's why I am. You can't really see. I'm in my houseworking shirt here because I've been, you know, working on the house. Obviously, why else would I be wearing this shirt? Anyways, I've been doing all sorts of stupid DIY stuff. You guys, if you follow me on Twitter, which you should, twitter.com, I talked about it a little bit. It's fun because my house is really wacky. And, like, door frames, there's 6 in the hallway, like, right out here, right, including the one that gets me into this magical room of video games. And every single door frame's height is different. And then every single door frame's width is different. And I don't mean, like, because the doors are obviously different sizes, because there's some structural thing in the house that's making it that way. I just mean because, you know, why not make everything a 1/4 of an inch or a 1/2 inch, even an inch different? It's awesome. Anyways, we are diving back into World of Warcraft for the first time since if you check the post over at lorehound.com, the main site, you'll see that somewhat recently, last month in early March, I was like getting super disenfranchised. I'm like, I don't know how much longer I'm going to keep playing. Is this going to be the 4th time I've quit for a substantial amount of time in a row? You know, there really hasn't been an expansion that's kept me in deep the whole time since Wrath of the Lich King. Cataclysm probably had its grasp on me the most. I was raiding and stuff back then. Stayed for a couple content patches. And I'm like this with Warlords. And really with Warlords mainly has been the lore. I haven't been a huge fan of the direction there. And then also the garrison and the way they... And I've written a lot about that. Probably more than I've written a lot about Warlords of Draenor. Probably more than I've written about all of Mists of Pandaria already. Partially because that's how fast I left Pandaland. But it's just like the garrisons and how it's separating you, and they made cooler things to go back into the world, but then you don't need to go into the world. And I actually just tweeted on the Lorehound account, like, all of my friends are just sitting in their garrison right now in prime raiding time because they're just sitting there waiting for the raid to pop or waiting for people to sign on and whatnot. And I find that so sad because the world right now is so much deeper than it had been in certain previous expansions, with like random things you can find, and you know there's rare mobs back and all that kind of fun stuff, and yet we just sit in our garrisons. And I mind you, I'm partially guilty of this too. I mean, right now I'm going to queue up and go do questing and stuff, but anyways, so bemusing the point, really the normal opening I wanted to do is talk a little bit about WoW Token, which is a super cool idea. So far, a pretty good implementation of how World of Warcraft and, well, how Blizzard Entertainment can actually make an impact on the free-to-play market but not dilute the brand, which is one of the biggest concerns of Blizzard, I'm sure, and Activision. You know, they kicked it off at 30,000 gold. And if you guys check wowtoken.info, which is one of those new domains, subdomains or whatever they call them, top level domain, sorry, it's now gone down to 21 and that's the recent low point. So it seems to be going around 20 and change to 23 and change, so it's slowly going down. I'm no economist. I don't follow this market that close. Tobald has been doing a series of posts on this recently, and he kind of like went dark a little bit on blogging, and this has partially brought him back. So it's interesting to see what he's talking about there. And really, I think the most interesting thing will be when Europe also opens to see how much it mirrors North American realms, because this is obviously just the average price over the course of time of all the realms. And Europe is just going to have its own economy, obviously, and especially since besides the euro, they still have multiple currencies as opposed to North America, which is effectively, you know, the dollar, well, the dollar and the peso and the Canadian dollar. But 3 currencies tops. One of them, which is the vast majority. And yeah, of course, it's changed gold farming. It's changed the economy of the game, basically. Gold farming to illicit gold farming to us gold farming us players. And then also, you know, the auction house has changed. It's just... And again, I'm not an expert on this because I haven't been playing WoW much, but you can just... You know these impacts are going to happen just from knowing anything about a numbers game. You know there's going to be speculators, people trying to make money, people are losing money. And it's interesting in that respect. I have a ton of crap sitting in my bank that I could probably sell for a ton. And really, I want to see long term, does it change gold farming, hacking, which is nowhere near as big as a problem as it used to be, in any way? Because it is another revenue stream in a different way, for Blizzard. And I'm sure they weigh the options of, is this going to actually make us money or potentially lose us money? I'm going to go with it's going to make them money by getting players to come back, even if it's for small chunks.